45 minutes or so. It's a short field. There's only 5 of them in there, but it is 5 really, really, really strong candidates to get a win today. I'm Bram Weinstein. Dan Tordjman is actually at Saratoga. The Saratoga, the race before the Whitney, the Saratoga Derby is about to happen in about, 5-10 minutes. We can't show that one to you. We will show you the Whitney, though, in 45 minutes. And Dan is struggling to get through tech-wise because the track, Dan, is having internet issues right now, including like tote boards frozen at Saratoga right now.
Look, I've never been one to pass the buck, right? Like I can claim ownership of an issue when it's totally my fault, but this is track wide. I mean, everything's frozen here. The screens are frozen. The Wi-Fi is out here at Saratoga right now. So we're doing our best. From what I could hear from your open, because audio is also a little bit of an issue at the moment, as we know, the Saratoga Derby is coming up, $1 million race. I'm excited about that. And then the Whitney, the big one, it's a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup. We're going to get into that as well. Look, Saratoga Derby, let me tell you something. Everybody's talking about the European horses in the Saratoga Derby coming up. I think there's plenty to be worried about if you're going to be betting against them or leaving them off your tickets. I think Secret Protector is interesting. Mike Smith is in for one ride today. One ride. He's riding Secret Protector for Charlie Appleby, who's winning everything that he's shipping over to the U.S. lately. But I'm going to give you one American horse for those who bleed red, white, and blue. The 8-horse, Cellist, is going to go to the front, is going to stay there for a very long time. And the last update I got on the board here, because the board's frozen right now, was about 25-1.
All right, 25-1. All right, so that one twice caught in the stretch, including the Belmont Derby. So you're going to have to do a sales job on him with me. There are a couple of others, though, and here's one that I want to hear your thoughts on, because we're only 4 minutes away from post time from the Saratoga Derby. The 2-horse Du Jour, which is Belmont trained, Rosario riding. This is a former Baffert horse. First time runs under Mott, a 4th in a grade 1, right? So looks like a complete drop-off from the form that he had when he was with Baffert. But I'm going to go with here, if I'm going to get some numbers and some odds, and I'm getting double-digit odds there at 10-1, call me intrigued about Du Jour here today. So that's the one that I'm kind of leaning into right now.
I can be down with that. I think there's plenty to like there. By the way, I'm trying to join in on another. Okay, I think the Wi-Fi's back up here. Hold on. We're going to test this out. All right.
Oh, Dan. Look at you. Look at you.
You hear me?
Yes. Look at you.
We're back live.
Look at that, Dan. All right, go back to Du Jour. Du Jour, the one that I'm looking at that's got double-digit odds, that is coming off a race where it didn't look too great, but it was first race under Bill Mott after being trained by Baffert. That's the one that I think I have. I feel like that's got some intriguing opportunity there.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot. Look, Mott has had a little bit of a slower start to the meet, but I think it's just a matter of time, of course, before a trainer like Mott heats up. You got Joel Rosario, who of course is super reliable. Second time in the Mott barn. I have no issue with Du Jour, and again, a horse getting overlooked a little bit because he finished 4th in the Belmont Derby. I like Du Jour a lot. Bolshoi Ballet, the horse he finished behind, of course. Now I'm getting the live odds here, 6-5 on Bolshoi Ballet. Wow, yeah. So that's significant money right there. Look, Soldier Rising on the rail for Christophe Clement, first time starting in the U.S., 13-1. Probably an indication that maybe this horse is not one of these horses that's going to fire first time in the U.S. for Clement. His numbers are actually surprisingly low for shippers into Saratoga making their first start. So of the Europeans, I'm kind of lukewarm on that one. Cadillac, the 4-horse, Shane Foley coming in from the U.K. This horse who ran in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, finished 4th there, went back to Ireland, won a Group 3 race, and now comes back here. A lot of confidence for the Jessica Harrington barn. And so I think for me, the 4 seems like a logical play. I told you Secret Protector right now, 6-1. Mike Smith is only in for one ride today, and is this horse. I mean, come on. Like, sometimes they make it that easy on us.
All right, how about King Fury off in the 11 post on the far outside? you're going to get a number there. I don't know if he could do the turf, and I don't know if he can do the distance, but at 13-1 with Jose Ortiz on him, that's another number that's very intriguing to me in this race.
Yeah, obviously the question with King Fury is whether he can take some of that recent dirt form, which has been great. He's been pretty good. I mean, he won the Lexington Stakes, came back, finished second in the Ohio Derby. Can he take that dirt form and transfer it to turf? This horse they paid almost $1 million for. I think it's possible. The board's telling you, again, a little lukewarm at 13-1 right now. Kenny McPeak, as we know, he had that equine herpes virus, which kept in the barn. And, of course, that wasn't even one of his horses, but his barn was locked down. So Swiss Skydiver, was limited in which he could do. King Fury is another one who couldn't really get out the barn. This may be a setup for another race later on in the meet. But I think King Fury, at least on recent form, is taking the steps forward. So if you believe that the form can transfer from dirt to turf, King Fury, I think you got to take a look at right now at 13-1.
Yeah, I think so. I listen. I like Bolshoi Ballet. I mean, there's no reason not to here, but it's 6-5.
Yeah.
That ain't fun. That ain't fun. That ain't fun. No, there's not much there. I mean, and I when I was looking at it last night, I'm sitting there going, he's going to come in here a massive favorite, and that's going to be a turnoff. And unless the numbers look a little different to me today, and they don't. So it's not that I don't like Bolshoi Ballet, but the price isn't right here to go in at 6-5, in my opinion.
No, I'm with you. I mean, look, I think the horse had the right setup. Everything fell into place last out. To take even money on this horse in an 11-horse field with so many unknowns, like we talked about King Fury, really an unknown. I mean, King Fury could turn out to be just as good on turf. And if he's just as good on turf, well, then he shouldn't be 14-1. So I wouldn't take that short price. By the way, bottom of the screen right now, Breeders' Cup promotion, Whitney Pick'em. What that means is you go ahead, you pick the winner of the Whitney. You go to breederscup.com for a chance to win a $100 gift card. You only have about another 18 minutes or so. So I wanted to put that up on the screen right now. It's as simple as going to breederscup.com and entering your picks for the Whitney to win $100. May as well try that.
Yeah. So you got to tell me you do that, because I like to put the chat. I like to put the comments up, and if you're going to go to the bottom of the screen, I don't want to be too busy for everybody. So, Dan, just give me a little warm up here.
Oh, my bad. I'll take it.
They are loading into the gate now, by the way, as they get ready for the Saratoga Derby, $1 million race, grade 1. Where are you, Dan? All right, who'd you land on? What do you got?
I like Cellist. I'm all about Cellist. And then under Cellist, I got the 4-horse Cadillac, and I got the 7-horse Secret Protector.
All right, I'm gonna take Du Jour, take a shot at a return to form here. Second race under Mott. I do like King Fury as well. John keeps pushing me. King Fury, he's in it to win it, all that type of stuff. I'm gonna go Du Jour and take the number there, but I think King Fury is a very good bet here at 13-1 or better, or whatever he goes off at.
All right, and I'm here trackside, so I'll try to give you a play-by-play. After this race, we're gonna have 2 guests coming up, so hang tight. We got 2 guests coming up. They're off now in the Saratoga Derby. Oh, your horse is on the lead, Bram. You're on the lead.
Well, I don't like that. that I'm not going to like.
Cadillac now is kind of plowed ahead, is on the lead with Bolshoi Ballet. And Cellist, 3 wide. I was hoping Cellist would kind of get loose up front, but he's certainly not loose at this moment. He's battling with Bolshoi Ballet a little bit for the front end. All right, now Cellist is on the front. This could work out nicely for me if Cellist stays there. Cellist is on the lead. Bolshoi Ballet second. Cadillac third. Your horse Du Jour fourth.
Yeah, I like my position here, Dan, as they head down to the backstretch. He's 4th on the inside rail there, and
saving ground.
I can't picture Cellist getting there in the end, so I like him on the front, but I don't know. I don't know if the track is playing where the speed out front is not getting caught.
I think the turf is playing a lot fairer than the dirt track. The dirt track is certainly playing to speed. If Cellist is as good as I think he is, he can hang on for a piece. But he's up against it. I think he's got some work to do. Bolshoi Ballet looks to be under a ride, though. I will say that. Du Jour is getting just the garden trip right behind the speed. 3 wide right now. It's Flashiest making a move. Down on the inside is Cadillac making a move. And then also 3 wide is King Fury making a move now. So right now it's Cellist and Bolshoi Ballet, 1-2 as they turn for home. Cellist looks all right, but he's taking a good amount of pressure. Your horse du jour has saved a ton of ground, is now tipping out, trying to find running room. Cellist on the lead. Come on, Cellist. Pull this, Cellist. Horse up the rail, the Clement horse up the rail, and a bomb on the outside. State of Rest at 20-1 with John Velasquez. Wow. State of Rest with John Velasquez. Huge price on the outside. And Soldier Rising on the inside for a big European exacta. We knew the Europeans were good. What did we do there?
On that one, I'm like, need to be sold here. Got a nice trip, got on the outside. My horse du jour got caught up and almost like tripped in the middle and trying to make the move back to the inside. Still got up for third. So I feel good I'm feeling good here early that I was kind of on it. You were too, though. Cellist went there, almost went the distance there.
No, you read it the right way. And du jour, I'm watching it again, definitely got bounced around a little bit while trying to make a move there. Ran a very honest race, finally got through and finished third. You could argue du jour, had he gotten the jump on the rest of them, could have been right there. But, I mean, a blowout performance there by State of Rest at 21-1. Here's your trifecta. 21-1, 14-1, 10-1.
Yeah, money race. This was a money race. I mean, listen, Bolshoi Ballet was right there, but even money, that is just not, that's not the price there. That is not the price there. So I feel good about my pick. I feel like I'm on it and feel like I'm ready for the Whitney, where honestly, I think you can make a serious, solid case for 4 of the 5. And that's kind of tossing by my standards. And I think that would be ridiculous to do because he's not an also-ran coming into this thing. So the Whitney is going to be something. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Look, we're going to do wall-to-wall, horse-to-horse coverage of the Whitney coming up in just a few moments. Right now, I want to bring in our first guest, one of my really good friends in this game and anywhere, really, Stacy Clark-Rogers. Stacy, how you doing?
Good, Jen. Glad to be here.
For those who don't know, Stacy Clark-Rogers is the person behind the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance. Stacy, I'm going to remove this, give you this so you can talk a little bit. Stacy, you've been set up here at Saratoga all week. Tell me what TAA is doing here this week.
Oh, yeah, we have a great weekend, so it's been really wonderful. Today we had a race for TAA, which was great because it was also Steve Asmussen's 7,000th win, which was a great opportunity for everyone to be there. We had a booth here at the community booth at Saratoga. So we've had that on all day. We had these cool T-shirts. And we're a presence at the sale here, as well as we have, I gave Dan a T-shirt here. It's really cute. So this is, you see that?
My heart, easy.
So this is really great. This is a cartoon done by Remy, Peb's son, our good friend. And it's an old retired racehorse, watering and feeding all the aftercare groups. So it's pretty cute. So yeah, we were getting those away today for donations. Lots of fun stuff. We have a race again tomorrow, so it's really great to be here for the Whitney weekend. Naira's been amazing. They're just great to the TA. And so is the NITHA, the Horsemen's group. So we have 7 groups that have been here with us from the 81 groups that we have.
Wow.
So
you're up to 81.
81 groups. Yeah, we've 13,000 horses have been affected.
Wow.
Yeah, over $20 million.
So for people who don't know, and Bram, this is interesting. So before the TAA, there was just, a lot of groups that were, a lot of good intentioned people who were like, you know what? I don't want these horses who knows what's going to happen to them once they're done with racing. I could take them into my backyard and take care of them. Or, I know of somebody who could take them and have this horse as a pony or, for their kid or whatever it might be. There was no central organization that said, you know what, this group is equipped to take care of these horses.
Exactly. Yeah.
This group is legit, and you could actually send your horse to this group. And so now over time, I mean, the last time I checked, you were up to the 50s and 60s. Now you've got 81 different organizations that you've accredited to do this kind of work.
Currently accredited. So there have been a couple others that are accredited or, didn't keep going in the aftercare thing. But currently we have 81 groups. We'll probably have 84 by the end of this year. It's 10 years next year. The TA has been going
wild.
10 years. So that's amazing.
That makes me feel old somehow.
And me too. Really old. But yeah, it's going well. It's great too because racetracks like the New York racetracks and Florida and also California and Maryland groups, they're all doing sort of a triage. So they help us working with a placement program at the track connection, the horseman, or also the racetrack itself, has a person that a trainer or an owner can go to and say, I'd like to find a home for my horse. And then they work with us, the TA accredited groups, and then we can really sort of keep following the horse from the gate, from when they leave the stable gate, to their new life in racing and
You know,
aftercare. Yeah.
You know, Dan is buying a house. Dan's buying a house. He's going to have a backyard. So maybe Dan can
Okay,
take
I
care of
cannot
the
hear the
So,
question.
so I'll relate it to you. So he said I'm buying a house, which by the way, I'm buying a house. I don't know if you know this.
You're buying a house.
I'm finally buying a house.
Okay,
I'm moving out of
good for you.
my apartment.
I think
small
COVID
life.
made everybody want to buy a house.
I want to see trees. I want to
Yeah,
hear birds and all the rest of stuff.
yeah.
He said, well, now that Dan finally has a house,
Right.
maybe he's got a little extra room
For a horse.
What do you think?
Do you have room?
Not really.
Okay, well then don't do it. We'll let you sponsor one.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm happy to sponsor one. I've always, as you know,
Yeah,
I've
you're
always been a
good.
big supporter of the TAA, and I love the work that you guys do. Bram, do you have any? I mean, I could relay the question. I know we're a little audio off here. Do you
It's
have any
okay.
other questions for Stacy?
Would you have the horse in your house, Dan? Would you do that?
He goes, how about having the horse in your house, like my house?
No horses in the
You
house.
won't
none of
allow
that.
that.
That's
You don't
just
allow
messy. I feel sorry for your wife if that happened. Yeah, that wouldn't be
You know what?
it.
How do they get a hold of them? If there's people out there that want some help finding a new home, how do they do that?
And that's the question. How do people help if they want to help out? How do they support what you're doing?
That's a great question. Yeah, if people want to help, we have a website, so it's www.thoroughbredaftercare.org, and we've got a list of all of our groups. We can take donations. We can, there's lots of advertising in that. And then if it's specific and you want to give to one of our groups, they're listed on our website as well. So if you're partial to some specific group in your state or we do Canada and the United States, then you can do that. Then you can also donate to them. That helps. We only give them a certain percentage of their funding, so they're always looking for more funding as well.
Right. And I know Bram is an aspiring jockey. And so, Bram, this is your chance. Stacy was a rider. Are you looking for any pointers from her?
No, you know what I want her opinion on? Did she see the crip walking horses from the Olympic and what she thought about the dressage from Tokyo?
He wants to know what you think of the dressage horse, that dancing horse from
amazing.
the Olympics.
Amazing.
Can you do that on top of a horse? Can you get a horse to do that, or is the horse
myself?
Yeah.
No, you have to really be trained. That's like saying Stacy can dance, but I can't do ballet. That's how bad that is. But how about Jessica Springsteen today?
Oh, I didn't see.
She got the silver today.
Oh, that's great. I didn't see that.
Horses are great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
but how cool is that? I mean, and that was a cool way to bring that into the mainstream. Like nobody, and really, Bram loved the Snoop Dogg. And do you see the Snoop Dogg analysis of it?
Yeah. No, I think people can relate to horses. They're a really friendly, approachable animal. They're sensitive. How many animals will let you get on their back and take them for a ride? Like that's crazy.
It's so It was so cool. I mean, again, you just see these horses in a different light because you think of them one way or the other. Either they're scary, or they're like just out in a field somewhere. Yeah. And you see how dynamic they truly are.
And that's a great point too. And I want to tell you, Graham, that there are thoroughbreds are a really sensitive horse, so they work really well with all kinds of different programs. That we have prison programs. We've got people that do programs for veterans. That's a big thing with the Man of War Project, that all their research with Columbia. And then we've got programs that work with children with learning disabilities. So it's really great. The thoroughbred's a great horse for retraining for other jobs after racing.
One last time, tell people how they can support Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance.
Go to our website, thoroughbredaftercare.org, and you can donate there on our website. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. We love social media, and we love being in Saratoga, so we're here for another few days.
All right. Stacey, we love you.
Yeah.
You're the best.
Thanks
and
a lot.
thank you for everything you do. Seriously, appreciate you. And thanks for waiting around through the technical glitches here.
I want to see the t-shirts. I want shots of the t-shirts.
Oh, yeah, we'll be wearing them.
All
I'll be wearing these tomorrow. So one more time, here's the shirt.
And if you want one of the t-shirts, just email us, our website.
Awesome. Thank you again, Stacey. Appreciate you. All righty. Oh, and tell Anise 10 minutes. We're still 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right. So
if you want me to give you the money settlement from the last race, because that was a doozy.
Oh, these prices. Tell me.
21-1, 14-1, 10-1 is what the top three were in the last race. 50-cent trifecta, 1360, Dan.
What?
50-cent trifecta, 1360 is what that paid out.
My God.
State arrest, the winner, $44 to win. The $1 exacta, 189. $1 exacta. That was a money race. But listen, if you were willing to go against Bolshoi Ballet, and you should have been, not that he wasn't quality horse, ended up in fourth and was kind of right there, but that was just not a good bet with that field. That was a money race. That had money written all over it.
We knew Johnny V was having a tough meet, but he gets the last laugh here, riding for Joseph O'Brien, the son of Aidan O'Brien, who's the greatest trainer in all of Europe for the past 20 years. Joseph, now making a career for himself, comes over, wins $1 million race with state arrest. Where's the bow tie? No bow tie. It's so hot here. I barely had the hat on. I mean, I'm only having the hat because my hair's messed up. But I mean,
wait, it's hot up there? Because we're actually like, I'm down in Maryland. It's like very temperate this week. I'm surprised.
Oh,
it's hot up there.
It's warm. The humidity is ridiculous right now. So look, I told you guys, if you're watching right now, you got another, about 5 minutes or so until the end of this contest here, the Whitney Pick'em. You go to breederscup.com for a chance to win a $100 gift card. That closes at 5:30 Eastern. Also, want to let you know about the Dreaming of Del Mar sweepstakes. There's a sweepstakes there. Fans can enter at contest.breederscup.com. And what that is basically one lucky fan will win a once-in-a-lifetime trip for two to the Breeders' Cup this year at Del Mar, November 5th and 6th. You'll see the best thoroughbreds in the world, of course, race there. You get round-trip airfare and hotel stay, 4 nights, 2 VIP tickets. You get to go to the paddock. You could potentially do the Riders Up for one of the Breeders' Cup races. You get access to the post-race concert. This contest runs through September 12th, and that's the website right there. So you got about another month or so to get in on that one, contest.breederscup.com, if you want to win a trip to the Breeders' Cup this year. All right, let's get into the Whitney. I see Penelope standing by in the paddock. We're gonna go to Penelope real quick to give us a quick assessment of this small but quality field. Penelope, how are things looking in the paddock?
Things are looking good. The horses are just entering the paddock behind me. Yeah, you said it, Dan. It is a small but talented field. 4 of the 5 horses are Grade 1 winners, and the other has won well upwards of $2 million. So, there's a lot of talent here. And actually walking right behind me was Steve Asmussen, who just got a big day. So how cool is that?
Man of the day. He just became the all-time leader in wins for a trainer in North America, Steve Asmussen. He's got Silver State going, who won the Met Mile. What do you think, Penelope? You're more of a visual handicapper. You see a lot of these horses in the morning. Of the horses you've seen in the flesh, who do you like the best here?
I'm not going to be giving out anything that's going to surprise a lot of people, but Maxfield has just looked phenomenal in the morning. So he is my horse. I know a lot of people are on Nick's Go, but I'm going to let him beat me. I'm all over Maxfield.
All right. Give us, if you could you do a little spin around the paddock? Let's see what it looks like. What it looks like in there inside the paddock at Saratoga right now.
Sure. Let me see if I can. I don't know how I can swap my camera, but I will give you a look around. We've got horses. All right. We've got people.
Oh, there it is. The red and white stripes, that tent. It just evokes all sorts of things. And
Dan, it was in one of those
tents.
tents.
I will say, very moving to be back at the spa in person for the 2021 meet. And I want to thank everyone at home for joining us. Hope you enjoy the Whitney, and I hope you two up there make a little money.
Let's hope so. You didn't hit the trifecta in the last race, did you, by any chance?
Did I? No.
Yeah.
But I did take a nice picture, so I got that going for me.
I don't know if you know, it paid about $1,300 for 50 cents. So.
Oh, I wouldn't have had it. It's all right.
All right. We'll let you get back to work there. Penelope Miller in the paddock live at Saratoga. Thanks, Penelope.
Thanks, guys.
So, Dan, a few weeks ago, ABR gave me nice seats. We talked about this on our shows, and I went up there, and in one of those red and white striped tents, my wife almost made me buy a very expensive painting. We were very, very close. And it just reminded me of when we went to the Valley of the Vapors in Hot Springs and Oak Lawn, where you walked away with all sorts of artwork. And I was very, very, very close to having a new big giant painting that I could have displayed here behind me today.
I feel like Valley of the Vapors is a story for another time. Once we're doing an Oak Lawn show, if you ever go to Hot Springs, Arkansas, look up Valley of the Vapors. You will not be disappointed. One of the most memorable and forgettable nights of our life. I think collectively, me and Bram, we can agree on that.
All right, let's get into the Whitney a little bit.
Yep.
All right, so, Penelope just mentioned Maxfield, obviously, I think one of the 4 very good choices out of the 5 that you could really make a case for. And honestly, 3-1 is a gift on Maxfield. I mean, you are never going to get that horse at a price like that ever. And so
Yep.
that is very enticing, honestly, at 3-1.
These are your live odds right now. 3-1 on Maxfield, 6-5 on Knicks Go, who most assume will go to the lead and stay there. You've got 7-2 right now on Swiss Skydiver, the 3-horse. We're working our way backwards. Silver State, 4-1. And then down on the rail, by my standards, 8-1. You mentioned Maxfield. Let's take a quick look back at what Maxfield did last out in the Stephen Foster Stakes.
Maxfield with a blitz on the far turn, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and now first at the quarter pole. Maxfield takes charge at the top of the stretch, sprawls back into 2nd, Warriors charges under pressure back in 3rd with Empty Tomb. South Bend coming with a run switched outside for the final furlong. And at the 8th pole, it is Maxfield doing it easily by 3. Sprawls trying hard back in 2nd, Warriors charge running a good race up into 3rd. The rest are struggling, and Maxfield fought off all challengers easily to win the Foster. Glides under the wire, winning it by 3.
Yeah, we were live that day, Bram, and I don't think either of us could have been more impressed with what Maxfield did.
Yeah, I mean, that was, in fairness, like going in and remembering that field, I mean, it would have been a surprise if anybody had really caught him. Like, he's not up against the competition, even in a short field today. He's not up nearly against the competition that he was that day, but he did what he wanted to do. And I think, that move on the turn where it was called perfectly was 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and it happened that fast. It's just so visually stunning what he's capable of doing. He even drifted out into the middle of the track, and then they just had to let up down the run because it was just, it's a win for fun after that. I mean, clearly, this is a horse with maximum potential and is clearly a very, very, very good choice today. And 3-1, 5-2, what it is now, whatever you end up with there, you can't go wrong. It's probably not the direction I'm going, but that is a very enticing price.
Look, the runner-up in that race was Warriors Charge. Over here, you've got bigger names. And we mentioned it. This is not a large field, but it's a quality field. In fact, we're going to take a look here at the Breeders' Cup Classic rankings this week. You've got 3 of the top 6 horses in the Breeders' Cup Classic rankings in this Whitney. Number 6 is Silver State. That's your Met Mile winner, trained by Steve Asmussen. As we mentioned, big day for Steve Asmussen. Silver State, 4 for 4 this year, seems to get better with each and every race. Number 4 in the rankings this week is Knicks Go. We talked about him a little bit. Big speedster, 2020 Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile winner. He rebounded with a win last month in the Cornhusker Handicap after back-to-back 4th place finishes in the Saudi Cup and Met Mile. And then at number 1, the horse we've been talking about here, Godolphin Superstar Maxfield. He's only lost once in 8 career starts. Comes to Saratoga off of back-to-back romps in that Stephen Foster and the Ali Shiva Stakes, currently claiming the top spot in the Breeders' Cup Classic rankings. So let's move on to that horse that we mentioned a moment ago, who's right next to him in the rankings, Knicks Go. Everyone assumes that horse will go to the lead and stay there. What do you think?
I do. I don't know if you've got the Cornhusker, but I think it's worth showing here, and I think it's worth discussing, honestly, because that was Prairie Meadows is an unusual spot for a horse of that caliber to get his groove back, but he clearly did. Do you want to show everybody what he did in the Cornhusker?
Yep, let's take a look.
But Knicks Go is doing it nicely as they make their way around the turn. Knicks Go uncontested as they pass the quarter pole. Last Judgment under a full-out drive. Rated R Superstar is trying to get involved for the back of the pack. They make the swing for home, and it's Knicks Go. Knicks Go coming to the final furlong. He is on a 5-6 length lead as they come down the lane. Last Judgment, Rated R Superstar battling for the minors. No doubt about the winner. Knicks Go is back in a big way.
All right. So, I mean, clearly won easily. It wasn't a nobody race. Modernist was in it, so it wasn't a total nobody race, but that's a really unusual place to get the warm up for something like this. Granted, Knicks Go needed to get his groove back, and he got it. So how much stock do you put in a breeze win at Prairie Meadows as he heads into something like this?
Look, I was highly disappointed in him when he really, to my eyes, didn't have any excuse in the Met Mile and kind of faded. I don't put as much stock as I think you would normally put in a win of that magnitude, winning by that much ground. That being said, that was a setup race for him. This was the ultimate goal. And so I think you can't get too crazy, too high or too low on that race. It was visually impressive, but I think he still has a lot to prove coming back off of that Met Mile race where he was beaten by Silver State. And so it'd be interesting to see what happens. Now, real quick, I want to bring in one more guest who's been waiting patiently throughout for us here. She's part of the ABR family. Bram, I believe you may have seen her at some point. This is Anise Montplaisir. She is one of the co-hosts of La Trifecta with Darwin Vizcaya and Claudia Spadaro, and soon to be co-hosts of a show we're actually just announcing now for the first time, Breeders' Cup Live in Espanol. Anise, tell us a little bit about the show and how excited you are to get started.
I mean, first off, I just want to congratulate you on your La Trifecta pronunciation.
I tried.
There was a little roll of the R there. I was very impressed.
I'm inspired by you. You do that, so now I have to do it.
There you go, and I'm so excited. I saw another one of my team members here for the Breeders' Cup in Espanol live coverage. Roberto Rodriguez is here on site, and we'll be joined for this upcoming show by Claudia Spadaro, Darwin Vizcaya, and Emmanuel Aguilar. So it's going to be an awesome team, and I'm so pumped for it.
Well, I didn't pronounce everyone's names quite as sweetly as you just did, so at least I got the title correctly. And what it is, for those who don't know, we're doing Breeders' Cup Live here in English, as we've always done it, right? But it's obviously super important to all of us that we do these shows in Spanish as well. And so we're going to be bringing people 6 Challenge Series days, multiple races where Challenge Series races are going on, and we're going to be streaming them with commentary in Spanish.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I mean, American racing, or racing in North America, I should say, has a huge Latin American following. And a big part of that is, South and Central American countries. But another thing is that, 60% of our workforce here in the U.S. thoroughbred industry is Hispanic. And so we all feel that it's immensely important to deliver these, amazing races in Spanish to everyone.
Bram?
In the media world, we call this an underserved market, and I assume that you agree that that's what this is, that they've been overlooked in terms of content. But to your point, I think we know this, not only is the workforce highly represented by Hispanics, but I think there's a large fan base that's probably been waiting for something like this.
Yeah, so he said, generally we talk about this as an underserved market in all sports, right? In all sports.
Right.
And he's saying, it's not only the actual workforce, but the fan base that's craving this kind of content.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be an absolute blast. And that's one of the most exciting things about it, is that we've all worked together at different points in time on different projects. And now it's bringing this entire team together in this, amazingly collaborative experience to deliver that for fans. Each of us kind of has our own little specialization or special thing about us that we bring to the table, and it's going to be a blast. We're all excited to get started on August 28th, our first show.
That's awesome. And Anise is pretty humble. I gotta imagine at this point you got people walking up to you asking you for autographs and all that. Come on now, you signed an autograph or two.
I have not signed an autograph ever.
Well, in the company that you're with Claudia and Darwin and Emmanuel and Roberto, all people who have been around the track for a while, who have it in their blood, who have such passion for this game as you do. And before I let you go, obviously, I want you to talk a little bit about Amplify, which is a passion project of yours, which goes even beyond all this. Tell us about Amplify.
Yeah, Amplify Horse Racing is a 501c3 nonprofit that I run to amplify education and careers in the thoroughbred industry. So our goal is really to serve as step one for newcomers who are interested in learning about our sport, again, specifically youth and young adults, and maybe want to actually seek out a career or a job in this industry. It can be confusing as a young person to figure out, how do I take these steps? How do I gain the experience? What are the training programs that I need to do to build up my skill level and my resume to pursue a job in the industry? So again, we seek to amplify the existing programs that are there, but then fill in the gaps too with programs that aren't there yet. So for example, we just launched our new mentorship program where we actually pair young adults with industry professionals in an area that they're interested in learning more about. And they'll be working very closely together for 3 months. So we're really excited to get some feedback on that pilot project and then make that as widely accessible as possible.
Bram, anything before we let Anise go? I'm going to hold it to Whitney pick,
I got one
way,
question.
Yes.
I got one question for you, actually. So I've noticed more and more, maybe I'm putting her on the spot a little bit, and I hope not. But like I've noticed there have been more and more entries from South America that have made their way into bigger races. Is that an anomaly? Is that a trend? Like, what do you see coming here?
He's saying that just in handicapping races, he's noticed that there are more and more South American horses that are being entered here. At least he's noticing that. He's like, is that an anomaly? Is it a trend? Is it, does it spike and dip? Is there something going on that we should be aware of?
I'd probably say that the biggest thing is just financially. It's probably, more financially viable if you have a great horse that's running in South America to come up here and compete for bigger purses. I mean, you might as well give it a shot. But there have been some really incredible, South American horses that have come up and run up here. I know there was just a Brazilian filly who won a race in Canada last week. Mm-hmm. Her name is evading me right now, but I know that she was actually brought to the U.S. by John Bolton, who is one of our guests on La Trifecta. So, I mean, they do come up here and definitely perform very well.
Nice. Well, and that's the other thing. The guests you have on the show every week. It's Thursday nights, by the way, at 8 o'clock on ABR channel, streaming, every other week. But, just tune in every week and maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe it'll be on. Maybe
exactly.
It won't be on.
Sometimes we like to keep people guessing with our schedule a little bit.
Yeah. So, Anise, pleasure having you. Sorry, this was a little bit of a wait getting onto the set here, a little bit of a traffic jam. But before you go, give us a quick pick here in the Whitney.
I'm going to go with Silver State.
Ooh.
He was my pick on La Trifecta this last week. And, I kind of like to throw a little surprise into things. And I do like Maxfield as well. I'm a big Maxfield fan, and I'd be very happy if he won. I'd also be very happy for my pocketbook if Silver State would win. So.
All right. Well, here's what we'll do. Just because you're picking Silver State, we're going to take a look back at the Met Mile and how Silver State won that race, and we'll see if we can do it again here coming up in just a few minutes at Saratoga.
Awesome.
And now just a neck back on the outside second. By my standards, splits horses. Silver State has the rail. Lexingtonian retreats in fifth, and not Dr. Post today. They're coming to the top of the stretch. Nick's Go joined by Mischievous Alex. The two of them come wide as they turn for home. Silver State cuts the corner. By my standards is there on the outside. Nick's Go has lost the lead. Mischievous Alex. Silver State coming up the rail. By my standards on the far outside. But it's Silver State in front, close to home. Mischievous Alex, by my standards, they're coming down to the line, and it is Silver State. He doesn't know how to lose.
Well,
I mean, I think you make a serious case for 4 or 5 horses, and Silver State is one of them for sure.
Yeah.
He's won 6 straight. 2 of them there in Stakes company, one of them with Nick's Go there. They ran him down, which is really the big question I have for you, because Nick's Go, had gone overseas, came back. You know how I feel about that. When they come back, they seem to be different. And then he got his groove back with that Prairie Meadows run. So I'm sitting there going, all right, we saw he can be caught and corralled. Do you think that could happen again? And if he is going to get caught and corralled, is it Silver State or Maxfield that probably does it?
Look, my only issue with Silver State is that I thought the Met Mile set up perfectly for him. He saved ground. He had the rail, which was great that day. They went fast enough early, and then the rail opened up for him when Nick's Go sort of came out a little bit and left it wide open for him. If he doesn't get that same exact trip, can he do it again? Can he do it again against horses that are better than the horses that were in that field? Even though it's a smaller field, again, I think it's a better field. For those who don't know, the Whitney Stakes, by the way, is enormously important on the road to the Longines Breeders' Cup Classic. Over the past decade or so, you've had multiple horses win this race and then go on to win the Breeders' Cup Classic. Let's take a look at the most recent who did it, Gun Runner.
Gun Runner turning for home in the Whitney. in front by 2. On the outside, Breaking Lucky is second. Keen Ice has made his way up into third, but he's still far behind. And now Florent Giroux lets Gun Runner go, and he's opened up a 4-length lead. Breaking Lucky is second. Keen Ice on the outside is third as they come to the line. Gun Runner wins the Whitney. Gun Runner's got the lead. Collected West Coast is bearing down on them on the outside. Final 16th. Gun Runner reaching for the wire. Collected's alongside. And then comes West Coast and War Story. But Gun Runner's on top of the world. He wins the Breeders' Cup Classic.
Maybe a little Steve Asmussen magic, right? A little Silver State. I mean, I don't think Silver State.
All right. Give up the goods, Dan. Who you on here? Who you on? Who are you on? Give up the goods.
You can tell I'm slow rolling, everybody.
Right? You got to pick somebody who you like.
But I'm slow rolling because I do like a horse here. I think this is going to shock you. It's going to shock you. It definitely will. I'm on Swiss Skydiver.
Why?
There you go. I thought you'd fall over.
Why?
So here's why I'm on Swiss Skydiver. She scratched from the Ogden-Phipps on Belmont Day, right? She had a fever. Then her barn was locked down thanks to equine herpes virus. That she couldn't leave. There was a quarantine. She would have run in the Coaching Club American Oaks a week or two ago, but instead she's got this race. So most people are interpreting that as, look, this is just a stretch your legs prep run for later on in the meet. For me, though, the way I see it is she hasn't run in so long. She's going to be keen. She's going to be headstrong. She's probably knocking down the barn wall. She wants to run. It's been so long. She's so fresh. And I think what that means is she's going to be right there with Knicks Go. I'm not going to suggest that she's faster than Knicks Go and is going to be faster than Knicks Go and is going to wear him out and all that. But she will be right there, not far off of him. And so, to my mind, I think she sits a great trip. And if Knicks Go shows up with a Met Mile effort that, was disappointing, then the first horse who's going to have run at him is Swiss Skydiver. On top of it, she gets Irad Ortiz for the first time, who we know is an aggressive rider out of the gate. It is his brother riding Maxfield, who's going to be off the pace. And so, look, I don't know. I don't know what sort of tactics Irad employs here, but I do think it benefits her and it benefits him in a number of ways to get to the front with Swiss Skydiver.
All right. So the only one I think is unrealistic is probably By My Standards. And I really think mainly it's just because I don't think he has the fastball for this anymore. Last fall's a different story. I just don't think he has the fastball for this. There's just too many good horses, and Trip's not going to be a problem for anybody's 5-horse field. Silver State is hard to dismiss as that call just displayed. Doesn't lose, already beat Knicks Go. I mean, if you're not convinced, and you're getting a price there 5-1, Swiss Skydiver, I just think there's too much speed here. Like, that's where I have a problem with her in this race. I just think there's too much speed here. In all likelihood, it's one of two. Either Knicks Go smokes them and gets out ahead of them and doesn't get caught, or it's Maxfield. And so I'm landing on, and I can't even believe I'm doing this because the price is only 2-1 or hopefully a little bit better by then. But I'm going to take the extra odds and the extra payoff on Maxfield here because I think it's one of those two in the end. My gut is telling me Knicks Go is going to get to the lead. No one's going to catch him. But if anyone's going to do it for me, it's Maxfield, and that's where I am.
Look, I'm not going to knock that. Like, I feel like we've given Maxfield short shrift here, right? Like, what has Maxfield done wrong? I mean, the horse is a beast, right? I mean, he's a beast. And 2-1 right now, to your point, I think 2-1's value on Maxfield. Like,
I agree. When it was 3-1, I was like, that's a no-brainer that you're taking him. 2-1, I mean, it's not a mess. You're not going to get him at that. It's a 5-horse field. This is, if I'm going to take a shot on something, and I think it's one of those two, I might as well take the one with the price, and I'm not going wrong picking Maxfield here. He's lost once, and it was a trip problem, and it was in a 1.25 mile race, so the distance isn't an issue here at all. So I'm going to take Maxfield and hope Knicks Go doesn't have the full-on Scherzer fastball because otherwise no one's catching him. No one's catching him.
By My Standards, you see there, ran a sneaky good race. I thought last out in the Met Mile, was under a ride from early on, covered the most ground, and was gaining some ground late on Silver State. So, look, By My Standards right now at the biggest price here on the board is a quality horse. I don't think he's going to win myself. Neither does Bram, but really, really nice field loading into the gate here for this Whitney. They're ready to go, so we'll stop talking and we'll let you enjoy the Whitney Stakes.
So there you go, Dan. Swiss Skydiver out with Knicks Go, just as you kind of called it, right?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, obviously,
Knicks Go goes on with it to take the lead from the Philly Swiss Skydiver.
All right, Knicks Go's like, I'm going to get to the lead.
Field is next on the outside in third. Silver State down at the rail, and By My Standards trails the field in fifth. Knicks Go opens up here. Knicks Go in front by 5 through a quarter in 23 and 2. The champion Philly Swiss Skydiver races in second. And then down at the rail, it is Silver State. Right alongside is Maxfield. And By My Standards, the long shot in the field, is the trailer. They're racing up the backstretch. Knicks Go has the lead here by almost a half dozen lengths. Ran the opening half mile in 46 and 3. Swiss Skydiver runs in second. Met mile winner. Silver State is down at the rail in third. Maxfield in the clear on the outside in fourth. And By My Standards. Knicks Go takes the field around the far turn. The lead is 2.5 lengths. Swiss Skydiver is in second. Maxfield, Silver State, the two of them are right together. And By My Standards is the trailer. 3/4 up in 1:10 and 1 as they come for the quarter pole. It is Knicks Go challenged here by Swiss Skydiver. Then Maxfield. Silver State is down at the rail. The field is at the 3/16 pole. It is Knicks Go. Silver State at the rail. Maxfield looks to split horses. Then the Philly Swiss Skydiver. Now 1/8 of a mile to the finish. And it is Knicks Go out in the middle of the track and holding on to the lead here. It's Knicks Go with a wire-to-wire victory in the 94th running of the Grade 1 Whitney. Maxfield was second, and Silver State finished third. The mile and a furlong, 1 minute, 47 and 3/5 seconds.
Listen, I honestly,
Knicks goes back.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, that's a really special horse. Like, that's the only one in the field that can do that. You're just banking on it's not going to happen again. I was, hoping that he had gone too fast early, but this is not a surprise. When he gets out loose like that, he is extremely hard to catch. He just beat 3 other horses that could be in the Breeders' Cup Classic by a mile. That's incredible, really.
He beat Maxfield, who looked untouchable coming into this race. Beat Maxfield by several lengths after going 46 and 3 fast, 110 and 1 fast for this distance, 134 and 4, and then finished up 147 and 3. Look, he did it like such a pro, and whatever was going on Met Mile Day, didn't have his best that day. First race back, you always say it. First race back from Saudi Arabia or Dubai.
Bad news.
Bad news. So that's what it was. And I think we can give him the mulligan for that. And we could say the horse is back. I mean, the horse is legit. And I mean, he won the Breeders' Cup Mile last year, Dirt Mile. I mean, he has certainly put himself in position now. He's number 4, as we said, in the Breeders' Cup rankings coming into this week. He's put himself in position certainly to jump to the number 1 spot once the new rankings come out on Tuesday.
I don't know that Maxfield had much of a choice. It was an interesting move where he ducked from the outside and way back into the inside. It almost felt like it wasn't even just I need to get a piece of the board. It felt a little bit like I need to get a piece of the board type of move, because that move was never going to be straight line and giving him a chance to win. So, I think that's where that came from. But that was an interesting move to duck back in the way he did on this stretch.
I think Maxfield would be better served with a larger field, more of a pace setup, someone who could even try to go with Knicks Go. You saw Swiss Skydiver. That was my theory, right? It looked good for about 3.5 seconds. That Swiss Skydiver was going to go. I thought she would be and she was. She sat second all the way around.
I think, it's hard to know, and you have to ask the jockey about it, but it felt like Knicks Go probably went even faster out of the gate than Swiss Skydiver expected, and decided immediately there's no chance I'm going with this early, and the only chance I have is to go with it late. And either way, she just, like the rest of them, just don't have what this horse has. I mean, I thought maybe he had gone a little too fast, but again, he didn't. I mean, he's a monster. He's an absolute monster.
I think you just nailed it. These jockeys are looking at each other. All right, what are they doing? What are they doing? Swiss Skydiver with Irad Ortiz is like, oh, I got the lead. Great. Looks up and Nixco flies by. Is like, I guess I'm just going to hang out here for a while because there's no sense of even trying to keep up with that horse.
Oh, he can't play catch up at that point. It's too early. He's going to burn her out. He knows that. He can't play it that early. He fired out like a lightning bolt. And so I think she did the right thing, but look at the rest of them. They weren't anywhere near the wire when he got there either. So there was just no beating him today. He runs like that in the Classic. Nobody's going to beat him. Nobody.
No way. No way. I know my boy Travis was really, really high on Swiss Skydiver like I was today. Katie, watching from the boxes here. We were hanging out a little while ago, drinking some, what do they call these things? They're not White Claws. I forget the name of the brand. It's some other brand, similar.
What is the emoji there? What is that? Is that a
I think it's like
taco?
a hooray confetti something.
Oh, confetti? Okay.
It's like a hooray confetti one.
All right.
Katie is awesome. And, I think, it's been cool. Like I'm at the top of the stretch here. I'm near the box where they're sitting in. You get a great vantage point of the horses coming off the turn. Nothing like Saratoga. If you haven't been here before, you haven't experienced this truly is the racetrack experience. Bram, I know you were here opening weekend. You've been here before. I mean, you could speak to like just the energy in this building. It's like Yankee Stadium during a playoffs game. It's like, it's like any big arena or venue during a major event. It's spectacular.
It's my favorite track in America. It just has everything. It's impeccably kept up. You feel like you stepped back in time. And then we saw when Penelope was out in the paddock area, like it's so old school because you're intermingling with the horses as they walk through to get to the track. There's live music, there's art festivals, there's food. It's an incredible atmosphere. It's really my favorite place to go in the summer. So I mean, it really is amazing. And in this case too, I feel pretty good. These two races, I was kind of on it. I mean, maybe I should just go with my gut and go, a win's a win. Yep. But that was a blowout. And I feel good enough that like there really was only, in my opinion, one other that could catch him if he did that. And Maxfield tried and didn't even come close. Yep.
No, look, and I'm not going to write off Maxfield. Maxfield has had an incredible campaign to this point.
No.
Let's see them line up with 10 to 12 horses in the gate and someone actually try to take a run at Nixco. There was nobody in this field who could legitimately take a run at the horse without completely compromising themselves. Let's see what happens when that happens. But this Nixco, you can't beat him.
No,
you can't beat this Nixco.
I got to ask you this. I saw this earlier. Is something wrong with my hair?
Well, you do. You've got that. You've got a little. It's got a little flair to it. I mean, it's got a little. You're looking confident. You're looking good. We could tell you've lost a couple pounds. You're looking fresh.
I'm glad you pointed that out. I've lost a lot of weight, Dan, and I'm going to lose a little bit more. I've decided I was going to go hot boy summer, and I'm going to lose a lot of weight, and I'm going to get fresh for the NFL season and Breeders' Cup. I'm going to be looking good. I'm going to buy a new suit when I go out to Del Mar. I'm ready. I want to look good.
Love it, bro. Don't show me up, though. Don't show me up. Come on, bro. Nixco in the winner's circle right now. Before we go, we have a videographer / producer who's behind the scenes for all these shows, does a ton of work, always gets awkward and weird when you compliment him. So I'm going to compliment him. Doing a great job, not only behind the scenes today with a show that has been a bit chaotic due to some technical issues, but he's also cut a lot of video before this show. One of the videos that he cut, I do want to show because it's kind of cool. We look back at some of the horses that have won the Whitney, have gone on to win the Breeders' Cup. One of them was a horse named Fort Larned. Fun horse. If you don't remember what happened in the Breeders' Cup, I want to take a look at it. But first, let's take a look back at what happened in the Whitney with Fort Larned back in 2012. Incredible that was, 9 years ago now. Oh, my God. Let's take a look.
Fort Larned comes away with the lead with a bold run at the 3/16. It's Fort Larned in front by 5. Ron the Greek way out in the middle of the track. Hembook and Flat Out coming down to the finish with Fort Larned to catch. Fort Larned to catch, and they're not going to catch him. Fort Larned the winner.
Fort Larned comes into the stretch in front. Mucho Macho Man runs at him with 1 furlong to run. They've left Flat Out behind. Fort Larned digs in. Mucho Macho Man runs at him. Fort Larned, Mucho Macho Man. Fort Larned with the heart of a champion.
You
That
love
was a classic.
You love Fort Larned. Why do you like Fort Larned so much, Dad?
I mean,
What's
that was
about?
such a good race. Do you remember that race? Did you watch that live? Were you betting on that race?
That could have been in my drinking days, Dan. I know that's a possibility. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, why not? Did I watch it? Yes. Do I remember watching it? Not really. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a good race, though. I mean, you know, year after year. I mean, just like, look, the classic that year was spectacular. I mean, I thought that was one of the greatest classics. And then, you know, you look at, again, like whatever's happening at Saratoga, whatever's happening at Del Mar, these horses, you bookmark them because they're going to come back later on in the year at the Breeders' Cup, and they're probably going to make an impact. And so, of course, today the race we're looking at here is the Whitney. We're focusing on the road to the Longines Classic. I'm excited. I mean, look, if you would have asked me a couple of weeks ago, I would have said no one's beating Maxfield. Today, I don't know what the heck to think.
I'll say this for Knicks Go. I don't know what their plans are, you know, beyond obviously this fall, but you showed Gunrunner earlier. He continues to race and continues to show form like that. He's going to rack up earnings that are going to rival the horse like that. You know, and that, you know, it's asking a lot of him to do it. I don't know what their plans are with him beyond this. Obviously he's going to run in the Classic, of course. But he could then turn around and run the Pegasus again, you know, and if it's going to be like that and he's going to stay on that kind of form, you're going to be looking at him with earnings in the California Chrome Gunrunner type stratosphere, I think.
Yep, no, they're absolutely kind of developing a resume that's Hall of Fame worthy, certainly on the caliber of those horses that you just mentioned right there. Before we go, just want to tell people one more time, there's the Dreaming of Del Mar sweepstakes. Fans can enter at contest.breederscup.com. And why should you go there? It's only going to take you a couple of minutes. You can win a once-in-a-lifetime trip to the Breeders' Cup this year, November 5th and 6th. You'll get VIP tickets, airfare, hotel stay, 4 nights. You're going to also get access to the paddock. You're going to get to call riders up. You're going to get exclusive access to post-race concerts and parties. No reason not to sign up. Contest.breederscup.com. This has been a lot of fun amid all the chaos and the craziness of the Wi-Fi going down earlier.
Have you ever been able to do riders up? Have you ever asked you to do that?
Dude, me? I ain't that important. Have you ever done it?
No, but I nominate you. I nominate you for one of those. I feel like that's something that should happen for you at some point.
Well, I would consider it an honor. Maybe I'll sign up. I don't know if I'm eligible, but I'm assuming not. If I sign up for this contest, maybe I'll get a chance. So
yeah.
All right. We'll be back soon, right? We got a show, I would think, within a week or two here. I should know exactly when we'll be back. Well, you got football coming up. You may not be on with us for a while. So
No. I think I'm on because it's preseason. So we're playing like midweek. So I'll have a show with you in a couple of weeks, I think.
I think we got a show on the 21st, don't we? I can just confirm it.
Yes, because Washington plays this coming Thursday's their preseason opener, and then the following Friday's their second game. So I got that Saturday earmarked just for you, Dan, and I'm ready.
Good. I know you're off the 28th. You're off the 28th, but the 21st, that's the day, right? The 21st, Del Mar Handicap and Pacific Classic live. Me, you, and our boy, Matt Bernier. That should be fun.
Let's do it. I'll try to keep my hair in good form. That's what I'm going to do. Keep my hair for you.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been Breeders' Cup, Road to the Longines Classic. We'll see you next time.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. America's Best Racing is a sport for you. Live it, love it, bet it.